We're here again.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we got a SnitchMas special for you guys with baseball bat Johnny featuring Tonto. Mr. I'll fix the door for you. What's going on, everybody? Latin Butterfly, how are you? Rah, what's going on? Things are going really, really well. I can't complain. There's a lot of exciting things in the future. You guys will see. You'll be along for the ride. We got some confirmation earlier, so I got some pretty amazing things lined up for you guys. So today we're gonna finish up on baseball bat Johnny. Thank you, Latin Butterfly. I appreciate that. Mobland, what's going on? I want to thank everyone who donated towards the toy drive. If you want to donate, this is the last day for it. I'm going to be going tomorrow and getting the toys for the kids. So if you want to donate, you have until like tomorrow at around 3 o'clock, probably earlier than that. But once the time cut off, it is what it is. But if you want to donate, you can donate towards the show, or you can donate to the toy drive. Just specify where you want the money to go. You can hit up the Cash App at Chattin with Staxx, or you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chats, Zelle. There's all kinds of different ways. And I want to give some special shout outs for the extra generous donations today. There was one last night and one today. And I can't thank you guys enough. It's gonna help a lot. I gotta figure out how to pull this up. John Wayne Gacy's boyfriend. What's up, man? How you doing? So we're gonna have a funny show tonight. I want to thank PJ. Thank you so much for the donation. You are gonna help bring a smile on these kids' faces. Very generous of you. And there was another one. Grambino, thank you for that, man. I really appreciate that. Any money that comes in through the super stickers, super chats, and things like that, I will use my money this month, and I will get my money back once the next month comes along, because YouTube already made the payment this month. So next month, I'll use my money. I'll count up how much money there is, and then next month, I'll just get my money back. So I appreciate it if you guys donate. Helps out a lot. And if there's enough, there's a young woman who was at a hotel with her 2 young kids, and they don't have any money. So I'm going to try to do something for them too, if there's enough. Hopefully we should be able to do something. Like, regardless, we're going to make this happen. We made it happen 2 years in a row, so it's only getting better and better each year. But we got a funny video for you guys today. Let's take a look at a little bit of it. So today we got baseball bat Johnny telling the absolute truth. Let's check it out.
Show they were paying.
They found the $5,000
Yeah,
check.
they put it was in the papers. It was in the New York papers.
So that's documented.
It's documented.
Got it.
You know, a lot of this stuff I'm speaking about. There's a new book I'm coming out with.
Right.
Taxx out too, and I'm going to come back this time. You know,
Bobo Can't. How are you? We're watching the Rambo of the Mafia right now. Mr. Eletto tell his truth. This is his truth.
Talk about shooting after shooting, stabbing after stabbing. But this time I told my author I want the witnesses and their names, besides the victims in that book. And I'm going to do a scorecard.
Gary
So
Jones,
show
Matthew, thank you for your donations. Ishmael, thank you. I really appreciate it.
step by step for the people that don't understand the life.
So at that moment when that event happened with Gotti Jr., is your level of trusting him at a good score? And then after that, it's a scar where you kind of keep it in the back of your mind saying, I can never trust this guy? Like, where are you with him? Because there are certain things where you see somebody do something in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, it's done. I can never trust this guy, but I have to act like I do. Is that kind of what happened between the two of you?
100%, because people ask you this, you know, during the trials. There's a lot of questions from
Right.
lawyers and journalists, and you know, and I said to him, listen, I tell everybody the same thing.
What, you mean when you were cooperating, Johnny? Is that what you're talking about? You had a lot of questions getting asked for your cooperation, right? That's what you're talking about, right?
You had other positions before this. As a kid, you're growing up, and there's bosses you don't respect, you don't trust, and you keep it there in the back of your head. It's just a lesson.
Bosses that weren't involved with Mr. A-Light because he wasn't Italian.
Learn that you know that you can't trust him. You know that he doesn't belong in this life.
He doesn't belong in this life. What life? The life you're living now or the fraudulent life you lived before? Because the life you're living now, total bullshit and lies. The life you lived before, total bullshit and lies. I mean, I'm sure you baseball batted a couple people in your lifetime, maybe stabbed a few, maybe even shot a couple people. But 60? How many did you murder, John? And where are the bodies? What's the aftermath of all these crimes? I really would like to have a conversation with you so you can clarify some of this stuff. He never got nothing. He never got a button, Staxx. He's not even Italian, bro. What are you talking about? Get his button. He was never getting a button. Fucking guy never. He's not even Italian. He couldn't get his button ever.
As the years are moving on, and not even years, as the months and weeks are going on.
Because that's how long he spent around the Gottis. Weeks. If you guys don't know, he would sleep over. That's it. That's the extent of his relationship. They used to take dumb pictures with his mullet. He was running a multi-million-dollar heroin operation at this time. But Gotti didn't know about it because he was running the Gambino family by proxy. Listen to this guy. It's crazy. He's like really delusional. It's insane. Thank you for telling people about the show, John Wayne. I appreciate that.
I just named probably half a dozen of our friends that are already dead. By the time the next year comes around, I can name another 6, 7 guys that are dead. So
Peers.
Peers.
That are dead. Did you kill him? Let me guess. You killed him, right, Johnny?
good friends, and some of these friends of mine are guys later on that I kill, or I have killed. You know, I had, like Johnny Gebbett, I have him killed. At one time, he was my friend as a kid. He lived around the corner from me.
But I had to kill him because he knew too much about the inner working of your Gambino family. Hey, John, how come they didn't rename the Gambino family the A-Light family? Because you were so involved. I mean, when Gotti Sr. went to prison, you took over, right?
But you're starting to understand the life, and you're starting to understand the treachery, and you're understanding, just like at war, that this is, you're not playing a game no more. You're not in a schoolyard. You're not going to punch a guy in the face, and it's going to.
Now I apologize for the signal. It's a little weak right now. He's referring to himself similar to a veteran with everything he's done. Similar to war. What war was that, Johnny? Was it the Rambo War you were involved with? Single-handedly taking out everybody.
And so you start really understanding when you can't trust somebody, you don't say it. You don't talk. Only the guys that talk end up dead. So, you know, I always use the armed forces. I got a lot of respect for these guys, and I've talked about it on a regular basis, armed forces, because these guys every day put on a uniform, whether they see action, no action, they have the possibility of losing their life. So when people sit in their comfortable
Hey,
homes,
Salvatore, how you doing? Salvatore Grasso in the building. Thanks for joining me tonight, man. The Energizer Rabbit Staxx. Hey, I just keep going, man. I got a lot of content to share with you guys. There's a lot of interviews I have lined up, and a lot of people have confirmed. So I have a really good catalog coming this next we'll call it quarter. I'll do it by quarters, and I have a really good catalog coming up. Some really influential, well-known people have agreed to come on Chattin with Staxx, and I am so thankful.
They don't salute our flag, or they don't get up and respect people in armed forces around the world, not just this country. I despise them. They're cowards, and I have strong feelings against them because these men, they lost their mothers, fathers, kids, children, and we have no right in no matter what. And I lived a rough life on the street, and no matter what this country has done to me as far as prisons, I'll never disrespect the flag or the people that fight for our country. So it's very important, and I think that the message that some of these people leave out in the street about something they don't understand is it's important to get the right message out there.
John, at that moment when you're seeing what happened with you and
what the fuck happened to his teeth? Did he open them with a fucking beer bottle? The bottom end? Bam! He cracked in the mouth with a beer bottle or something. Something happened.
Gotti Jr. Was there a moment where the next time you saw him where he couldn't look at you in your eyes? Was there anything like that where the tension was felt, or no, you acted like everything was okay? Like
Hector Camacho show was excellent. There's another one dropping tonight. I'm going to drop another interview I did with Hector Camacho Jr. right after this is over. And it's like an hour long, so you don't want to miss it. He tells a lot of things in this interview. We got Salvatore Grasso coming on the show right after the New Year's. There's a lot of people that have confirmed that they are coming on the show after the holiday. And it's going to be great. There's some women coming on, some women that been to prison. There are some influential people. I'm not going to name everybody because you guys will be surprised when you see these people.
even a smile like you just made right now, that smile tells 50 stories, right? So you know what I'm saying when you see somebody and there's a smirk or a smile or a squint or an angle of looking at them. Is there any of that felt between the two of you or nothing at all?
Yeah, I asked him what happened. He gave me an answer. I knew it was bullshit. And I didn't question it anymore. I just put it in the bank and said, okay, I know what he's made of now. So I
know what he's made of now. His father just carried him along through the life with his name. Gotti Jr. What the fuck? Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
understood at that moment that he'll sell me out any second, any time. And later on he does. Yeah.
So then this leads me to the next question. Now you're saying in that moment you have bigger ambitions on what you want to do, right? You're saying I have bigger ambitions, but you're Albanian, right? You can't be a made man in a Gambino family and be Albanian. You got to be Italian, right? I mean, that's one of the things that they had themselves, especially to go be a boss. To be the boss, it's a complete different story. So
his eyes were on the boss's seat. He didn't care that he was Albanian, and it didn't matter because he was so violent and so efficient with the gun and the bat and piping people. You're going to hear it from him firsthand.
as much as you're motivated and ambitious to do it, what was your formula on how to get to the top?
No, I understood technically I couldn't be officially made, technically. But otherwise, in every other aspect of that street world, I'm considered being made guy. I'm considered
being made. He doesn't have to go through the motions at all. He's able to sit down through insider meetings. He was at the commission meeting. Like he was at the Appalachian meeting. He was able to meet with Carlo before he died. He's the one that appointed Paul Castellano as boss. He was working for Johnny Boy here. Merry Christmas, Alex. Guy, what's going on? Hey, brother, you're doing a great job. I love your work, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. A-Light was a better boxer than Hector Camacho and Lennox Lewis put together. But there is no proof on that. Take his word for it.
being almost a boss on the street. I'm considered by anybody in the mob because you know what runs the world of the mafia is violence and money.
No, it goes money and then money. It's not violence. Money runs the world, period. Has nothing to do with violence. People get snaked out of hundreds of thousands of dollars a day with just talking. So you don't need to do violence to take someone's money. You are just a common street thug that people would send out to go do shit. And you're a babysitter, basically. Gotti Sr. said, keep my son out of trouble. That's it.
So if you can, I had the qualities that other guys didn't. I was intelligent, so I knew how to make money. I knew how to operate businesses, and I was vicious. So those qualities make me become another Jimmy Burke.
I'm a boss. Jimmy Burke. He's comparing himself to Jimmy Burke now. He's a boss. He's the boss. Like everyone comes and pays tribute to him. Before they go see Gotti, they got to stop and see A-Light on the way. If it wasn't for this guy, there would be no mob. Got that right. This guy wrote the rules.
Who was Robert De Niro, Goodfellas.
Oh yeah, you were this guy? You were him?
No, of course, yeah.
His son was my good friend. So I looked at Jimmy Burke. I don't think there was anybody ever when he was in jail on the streets would ever say, "Oh, you're Irish. We're not respecting you as a gangster or as a mob guy." Or Joe Watts.
Because they didn't happen, Alex. That's why he's not in prison. Because it didn't happen. You can't go to prison for something that didn't happen. I could come up here and say, I shot this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, stabbed this guy, I did this, that. If it didn't happen, you're not going to prison. He didn't cooperate with all these murders and shit. So if he did have a cooperation agreement, he does. But that shit would be ripped up. He'd be in prison for the rest of his life. It's just, this guy's just delusional. He forgot to take his meds today before he went on this show. Now he's comparing himself to Jimmy Burke, and now he's got Joe the German Watts. He's gonna compare himself to him too.
Who was a very personal friend and a known killer in our family, and John Gotti Sr.'s main guy, and he was German. So
I thought you were Senior's main guy. What the fuck? Why all the flip-flopping, Johnny?
there's guys that I looked at and said, I'm going to be them. And I did become them. The guys.
Yeah, Sammy the Bull. After he cooperated, you did become him. Watch. So, coming up, it gets funny because he talks about Sammy the Bull verifying all his bullshit. And then I'm going to play you a clip of him talking mad shit about Sammy.
Testified in trials in court that I had my own crew, and it was very unusual for an Albanian and a non-Italian to be able to run their own crews on the street. Nobody's challenged. But this guy's and his group.
Nobody's challenging him.
Outside of, you see some of these mob sites, and the guys, they don't even know what they're speaking about. There was, the Westies, an Irish group out of New York, Manhattan. I would laugh if somebody ever typed something to them back in the 80s that they're not respected because they're Irish.
But they wouldn't do that because they didn't cooperate, and they're not on YouTube talking shit, John. You are. That's why people tell you that you are full of shit, because you are full of shit. Uncle Pete, what's going on? A-Light is so full of shit. Hey, we were just talking about that.
And even, we'll talk about these days, the last 4 hits in the American Italian Mafia
We're by you, right, Johnny boy? And you didn't get caught for them. You're just telling the world about the hits that you committed, but you didn't get caught, right?
done by black guys. So I want to see those same guys telling them, well, we're not going to respect them. People in the street, and this is anybody in the street, whether you're the Hells Angels, my friend he just passed away.
Now he's trying to use the Hells Angels name. You see that? That name drop. Oh, my friend, he just passed away. He's in the Hells Angels. Why you got to use other people's names? Use your own shit, man. What's good, Southern? How you doing? Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to have a fun one here.
Grew up since we're kids, was president of Hells Angels. I don't want to see, I don't think there's anybody from the street that is really a legitimate tough guy that doesn't understand the street. We understand to respect somebody with intelligence and somebody that is on the street that's tough. So regardless, no one says to you, well, what's your nationality? I'm going to respect you for your nationality.
No doubt about it. But there's a difference. Like, Mira, Tony Mira, there were certain guys that were known for being earners. There were certain guys for being known for being soldiers, right? There were guys that knew how to go make the money, and some of them that knew how to take the hits. One of the things Sammy was known for, and the reason why he got so much street credit is, and this comes from everybody I talk to, whoever.
But watch, A-Light tries to take Sammy's whole persona and put it as his own. I was the guy directing the traffic and calling the shots. He tried to say Roy DeMeo wasn't a killer.
Whoever I talk to, for whatever reason, they all either respect Sammy and validate what he did, and even the whole story with him and Gotti, him going and testifying immunity, whatever you want to call it, for the 19 counts.
Hey, Vincent, thanks for joining us tonight. I really appreciate that. Don't worry, I'll be telling my story. Keep watching.
They say he ran a legitimate construction company, was making money, and at
I'm not a gangster or a rat, Vincent.
the same time, when it came down to doing the job, he did it as well. So, but because he was Italian, he could eventually end up being a boss. What was your, end of, my vision is one day John A-Light's going to be XYZ. What was your vision?
boss of bosses. That's what he was going to be. The boss of bosses. I know what he was going to be. He was going to be Vincent in my chat.
I'll tell you something because you mentioned Sammy. Sammy Gravano, and this is the first time I mentioned it anyway. Sammy Gravano did an interview, his first one since he's been home from his 15 years he just did.
Okay, now remember, he paid Sammy Gravano $3,000 to vouch for him. I have the tape where he says he paid him. So now you're going to hear behind the scenes of what really was going on, because this is the first interview that Mr. Electo here dropped. Like, that got a lot of recognition that he was known for.
And his interview was about John A. Light. He does an audio interview with a guy named Andy Deliano who did Perfect Gangster 1. That interview is going to be in Europe shortly. And he discusses what I am and what's a thug, what's a mafioso, what's a gangster. And he says most people, this is his words, are either like a Michael Francis.
A beef is happening right now in the mafia social world, I would say, between you and Sammy Gravano. But before that, Sammy had a lot of respect for you, to be honest.
Listen close, people.
So, and also he called you the perfect gangster. Let's hear it out, what he said.
In contact with my brother Light, was in the Gambino family. Very powerful member of the Gambino family.
Member. He was a member of the Gambino family.
He's
Merry Christmas, guys. Christmas came early this year.
Okay. I think the world of him. I mean, he's a legitimate tough guy. I think he was put under the wrong people at the time when he was in the Gambino family. At least he was part of my group. But that didn't happen.
We heard that he testified against John Gotti Jr. What was your first thought?
Nothing. He was betrayed by John Gotti Jr. And, I mean, he went on the lam. He got in trouble in Brazil. He went to prison. He was betrayed. And that's what happens.
Sammy Gravano is a total piece of scum, too. He murdered a 16-year-old kid that was walking home from his girlfriend's house. Shot him in the back of the head. And then he tries to lie about it, say Louis Melito killed the kid. And says that the kid was running towards him. So why'd he get shot in the back of the head then? These guys are despicable human beings. And John A. Light, he says the same thing of what I just said, right? Word for word. After Sammy Gravano robbed him of his money and stopped giving him street cred. So just check it out for yourself. Don't take my word for it.
Yeah, I just want to know, have you heard that Johnny maybe assassinated somebody back in time?
That he assassinated people?
That maybe he killed somebody back in time, Johnny Light?
That's that way. Absolutely.
Hey Vincent, come to the front of the class, man. I got an early present for you. Come to the front of class. Raise your fucking hand. All right? Bye-bye. Good one, Yanni. All right, now that we got rid of that turd, we'll make... That's okay, though. Maybe I'll put it on subscriber mode so he has to subscribe. Don't scrape the bowl on the way down.
He was a hit guy.
Okay.
He was a professional hit guy. And he couldn't get made because he wasn't Italian on his father's end. But he was, to us, he was an Albanian mafioso.
Okay.
And I did want to get Sammy on the show to ask him the questions that no one else would. So let me just squash that little rumor right now. I can get anyone on the show that I feel that I want to get on the show. I don't need to ask permission or any of that shit.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
Dirty
You fucking ruined it. Sucks for him. He's going to be going back to prison very soon. But hey, play with fire, you get burnt, right?
No, totally understand. Do you remember a little bit what was his activities back in time?
Whose activities?
John Elites?
Well, I think they used him more or less to be a strong arm. He was the muscle for John Gotti Jr.
To John Gotti Jr. He said nothing about Senior on that little clip. Now, here comes John A. Light's true feelings of Sammy Gravano. Let's take a listen.
We are back. Now, John, what do you think made Sammy change opinion about you?
Because I'm not like most guys. I'm not weak. So when he says something that I don't like or I don't agree with, I'm going to say it.
Oh, yeah, we got stuff on Scars. Don't worry. If you want to check out Scars' testimony, just go to my videos and look up Scars' testimony. And you will see the first, I think, 4 pages of Scars' testimony. There'll be more videos coming. And you can check out the Valachi Papers. It's a really good little series that I'm working on. So there's more to come about Scars, the puppet head Scars.
So I'll say it again. Now, he's a cunt. He's a fucking coward. He's another big mouth that didn't do much. Now, people are going to say, well, he was an underboss, you know. So I'm going to tell you, you can ask people or research, what did this man do to get to the level of being a made man? So people think because they're a made man that they did something spectacular to get there.
He was Italian. I tell you that. He was Italian. That's first off. He was Italian. Something you are not. He killed people, which you did not. You might have had a hand in a murder or two, but he was actively killing people and taking their businesses. Legitimate, John. Do you know what that means? It means he really did it. It's not just in his head. Yeah, Scars put away 81 people. A lot of people for the rest of their life. And people forget that. He writes no excuses on his video and he thinks people aren't going to go after him. Don't worry. Scars is on the chopping block very soon. We're not going to just not go after him because he tries to claim responsibility. But his videos are full of excuses. When his channel's called No Excuses. Well, all I hear is a bunch of fucking excuses from him. How people stole his money and they weren't going to give him any of his money and they took his businesses when he was in prison. What do you think's going to happen? When you go to prison and it's time to be a gangster and stand on gangster shit, you keep your fucking mouth shut and you go to prison. That's what John Gotti did. That's what John A. Light didn't do. That's what all these other guys who claim to be gangsters now on the internet didn't do. So for them to come on here and act like they're gangsters, especially the ones with the big fucking mouths.
I'm gonna fix it. I did this to the door. I'm gonna fix it. I pushed the door in. 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 I did this to the door. Yes, I pushed the door in.
And his card is on file here.
Yours. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it.
So if I get charged for this,
You're not being charged. You're not being charged. You're not being charged. You're not being charged.
I'm the one who's taking word. Paying for these women? Yeah. Paying for these women?
Yeah. No.
Yes. are they from again?
You're crazy.
It's fucking see-through. It's like skin. It's just like there. It's fucking see-through. It's like skin. It's just like.
Oh my god!
Where? 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 Paying for these women?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'll tell the judge and prosecutor to suck my dick like I done before. Okay?
Uh-oh.
That's why you're gonna constantly go in and out of prison, tough guy.
Little fucking midget mafia, Joey Molino got something to say about me. Joey, you're 4'2". I see you in Tampa, I'll slap you around. Okay, you're the boss of 3 guys, the Philadelphia Mafia. You actually be a member in your family, I'd rather be a Latin king. Okay? Get lost, you're an active mob boss on YouTube, you're a fucking clown turd.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in. You're a dirty hooer. That's what you are. Look, tell everybody how you fucked 100 guys. Tell everybody that on YouTube. Tell everybody that. Tell everybody you fucked your neighbor. Matter of fact, let me go talk to Andrew.
I know we have, I can't really get in touch with you, so the bullshit we going through is fucking stupid as fighting.
You want to play games? I'm stabbing every single one of them. Let him cop you. Go on. Watch.
Gangster, that's the real gangsters of the mafia. I'm bringing it to you, some exclusive content here. So it's the like button. Bella Rose, how are you? Merry Christmas. I mean, SnitchMas, my bad. You see him walking away with his garbage bags, right? Some really fancy luggage there. Looks like he was on his way to rehab or some shit. Stay clear of the rats. You might catch fleas.
Who's a mafioso, earner, but not a killer. He doesn't put a gun in his hand. He's a very intelligent man. I like him. I respect him. He speaks well. He turned his life around. He's doing the right thing. And then there's guys like Frank Collada, who's a thug, gangster, a killer. So there's 2 types. Mm-hmm. Sammy gave me in that interview, or he said about me that.
Listen close. Yeah, you're right. It's not that. I really care that he puts men away. That it is fucked up. He put away a lot of people. Over 80 people for his own fucking pleasure. Like, he didn't have to cooperate against that many people, but he wanted to. His own brother got killed. His own brother got killed by the mob, right? He didn't do shit. He didn't do nothing. And then he cooperates against all these people. Now he's on the internet smiling and joking. What about this donkey dipshit loser?
We're here again. And like I said, this is just getting started on this platform.
You damn right it is, motherfucker.
I'm an earner, I'm a thug, and I'm a mafioso, and I'm an Albanian mafioso.
No, you're not, Johnny.
That has total respect from the mob world, and that I'm a professional hitman, and I'm a killer, and I'm the Gambino's family's hitman, and unfortunately, I was around the wrong guys and guys. Those are his words, not mine.
So what happens when John A. Light doesn't get his street credit from Sammy? I'll show you what happens.
He did some bullshit like almost kid stuff, the robberies. He shot a gun once prior to him becoming a made guy. And he shot one person out of 19 out of his own mouth. So he shot maybe 2 people, and he lived off that his whole life. And he tells you about how tough he is. He set up murders. If you're that tough, after you cooperated, you wouldn't have hid in Arizona. He loves Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn, but yet he's hiding in another state under.
He's tougher than you.
Like I say, like Bin Laden in the mountains. So to me, he's a fucking coward with another big mouth. You know, he's an older guy now. He ain't no tough guy. He can bullshit everybody else. These guys live over reputations and do.
That's wait. Did he just say Scammy the Bull lives off a reputation? That's what you're supposed to do, right? When you're Sammy the Bull. Listen, I can't stand Sammy the Bull. He's a total scumbag, selling drugs with his family, everything that he was involved in. Nothing but a dirtbag. He had no loyalty to nothing.
I'm hooked. I will do it again. And I will do it again until I go to prison for the rest of my life.
He said it himself. So, but let's hear what he was saying when he liked Sammy.
Those are recorded words from Sammy.
How many total people have you done? How many hits did you do? Total.
All right, now he asked him a simple question, right? How many hits total?
I hear different numbers.
Yeah,
I hear 15, dozens, 19.
Here's the thing. You go play baseball, and I've tried to say this is, so many different times when I'm talking. You go play baseball, and a guy plays one game, and he gets a base hit. He's going to remember that for the rest of his life. It's the only game he played. I did this day in and day out.
He did this day in and day out. He's referring to his fucking mob career like playing baseball.
So when someone said, "Did you kill Georgie Grasso?" I'll give you names. Did he shoot him in the
Georgie Grasso. He says that guy's name like 1,000,000 times in these interviews. Like 1,000,000.
head? Yes, I did. Did somebody say, "Did you kill Johnny Gabbett?" Yes, I did. I ordered him dead. Did you kill Bruce Gotterup? Unfortunately, I'm friends with his family now.
Yes, I did.
I ordered him dead. Did you shoot Mike Lavigny in the chest? In protocols, he testified against you 25 years. Yes, I did. Did you shoot Ricky Stratton in the head on the Interborough Parkway? Johnny, did you shoot him? Yes, I did. Did you shoot Paul G in front of John Gotti Sr.'s house and you didn't care it was in front of his house? Yes, I did.
So he shot a guy in front of Senior's house, right? And Senior didn't do shit about it because he respected A-Light so much. Do you guys believe that?
Nicky Pasquale 5 times on his porch and he loses his leg and he almost died. Yes, I did. Did you stab a guy in front of Vinnie Butch in Fort Lauderdale in the neck and the stomach? And he was operated twice and almost died. Yes, I did. Did you shoot Sal Noto's brother-in-law in Bulkhead Bar? Yes, I did. I shot his friend outside the Bulkhead Bar. Yes, I did. I could go on with these names. And did I shoot 2 guys in front of Mondello's for Michael Catapano, we call Catman, still alive? Yes, I did. Witnesses. Did I baseball bat 3 bikers and baseball bat Kenny Nicole on 78th Street in front of Old Brother Inn by accident? Yes, I did. He's alive. Joey Mathis is dead. I went to protect them. Did I pipe 3 guys and hit them with bottles in front of Princeton Diner in front of Lisa Matriziak? Her best friends.
He piped him, all right. He piped him good. Here, I don't know. I forgot who was asking for the Mikey Scars thing. Here you go. I just dropped the link for you for the Mikey Scars thing. There's going to be a lot more on Mikey Scars. Don't worry.
Married to Joe Pungatori, a captain in the Philadelphia mob. She was there, still alive. Yes, I did. Did I stab a biker in Forest Hills?
Wait. He said he beat the shit out of 3 bikers in a club, right? That was the same story where he stabbed the president of the bike club in New York, and there was no retaliation. And now he's going to say he stabbed another biker
in the thigh and tell him I'll shoot him in the head. They ever come looking for me again after that baseball bat the other 3 bikers? Yes, I did, Michael.
Now, who believes that shit? Do you believe that? He should be ashamed of himself. Gotti would have clipped A Liar for disrespect 100%. A Liar's he's just so ridiculous. It's insane.
And he testified against it, for it, about what I did. Did I shoot Mike Pipp and 2 other guys in front of 116th and 101st Avenue. Yes, I did. See the difference between what I do, and I can go on. We could keep talking.
But you haven't been convicted on all these charges, have you there, Johnny? That's one of the questions I have for you. Were you convicted on any of these? And what happened to the bodies? Talk about claim to fame, disgusting pig. 100%, Bella.
I don't know how many guys I shot. I killed 2 guys for sure on my property, maybe 3.
He killed 2 guys for showing up at his property. Maybe 3. Well, is it 2 or 3, Eli?
Danny Morrow, unlike some of the stories that said that never happened, testified, and he's on tape. It'll be out in Perfect Gangster 2.
That music video he's in, it's so cringe. The guy's rapping, is wearing a fanny pack. I never saw that video, but it makes me feel better. Thank you.
Dino Finelli helped me get rid of the guns afterwards, seen tons of blood all over. These are regular guys. Dumped the guns for me. Testified also and did an interview on tape. Carmine Roan, multimillionaire, legitimate guy, owns Tomatoes Restaurant. Testified, I did. He was on the property. Steve Lacrotondo, insurance man, regular guy. Testified, I did. So, you know, when guys are talking out of line or out of school, I hear it all the time. So why is Sammy Gravano, the underboss of the family, talking about me in that way? Why did Ronnie One-Arm, captain of the Gambino family, I robbed all his bookmakers. He was a one-time friend of mine. I robbed Jojo Carrazzo, at one time concierge of the family, robbed his bookmakers. Why did anybody...
Carrazzo, he robbed Carrazzo. You believe that shit? Carrazzo would have his fucking head on a stick if he came anywhere near any of his businesses. I've spoken to people about the Carrazzos. They were no joke. They still are no joke.
Retaliation against me. I robbed 2 of them. I put my name in his mouth and I taped it. Steve Catalano was there. He's still alive. Johnny Burke's in jail, even though I don't like the kid. He was there. He didn't want to come near the guy because the guy was too big. So these guys are alive. I can go on. Why did Ronnie want to, in his own words, in his opening statement, say, if I ain't nice to Johnny A. he'll kill me like he killed everybody else? Why did he say it 12 times, get his paperwork in his opening statement? It's out all over the internet that I'm John Gotti Jr.'s partner. I'm the partners in the drug business. Over and over and over again, he repeats.
Okay, so he just did a little fuck up right there, too. Because on the other video where he's getting interviewed, he says that he had this heroin business going on with Fat Andy. And Junior didn't know about it. And Gotti Sr. didn't know about it. Now, he's saying in this interview that Gotti Jr. was his partner in the drug business. Something's not adding up, Johnny.
Why did Stevie Newell, a guy I shot, who I'm personally friends with now, and we had a disagreement, the Gotti said they would protect him, I shot him, did he say on tape, you don't know Johnny A, he'll shoot anybody anywhere? And John Gotti Jr. ratted on him, ratted on me, or became a rat, and he called Stevie a rat. It wasn't true. Why did Stevie Newell say that he sees captains in the Gambino family answer to me? He grew up in our neighborhood. So when guys talk, and I hear
captains,
guys on the internet,
he's seen captain. Hold on.
Who's doing 30-something years?
He's seen captains in the Gambino family come and pay respects to you. I find that pretty hard to believe. I mean, if you're sleeping over John Gotti Jr.'s house and they come over the house, I could see him being respectful because you're a fucking kid sleeping over the fucking house. But I don't believe you about all that gangster shit. I feel like you're playing a guy that is not real. You're trying to be Mr. Rambo and shit. This is you. This is what you want everything to be. This is what it is in your head. But that's not what it really was. This is what it really was. You were there for a sleepover. Ain't that the truth?
My enemy for years. Did I have him shot? Yes. Did he kill the guy I had him shot? Yes, he did. Do I like him? No, not particularly. Do I know him since he's 5, 6 years old? Yes. Does he have the right to talk about me? He does, because he was a legitimate gangster, whether I like it or not. And he knows I'm a legitimate gangster. They tried to kill me 7, 8, 10 times. I don't know how many times.
We have John Elite in the house, former enforcer.
So Vlad fucks his name all up, butchers his name, right? Watch his face. Watch the smirk on his face when Vlad introduces him as a Mafia Gambino hitman. Just watch his face.
And hitman for the Gotti and Gambino crime family.
Huh? How are you?
Is that a fair description of your former life?
Yeah, that's a fair description of my former life, yes. Without
Yeah, he's even tripping up when he first gets introduced because he knows it's a fucking lie.
Here we go. We have John Elite in the house, former enforcer and hitman for the Gotti and Gambino crime family.
Huh? How are you?
Is that a fair description of your former life?
Yeah, that's a fair description of my former life, yes.
You're about as gangster as Hootie is. Hootie was your guy in the street that came and paid homage to you. Hootie and this fucking jerk
calling
off.
us and asking us to do a show. So this is going to be our first week at answering everybody that asked us to do shows, from the guys that have contacted us from prison, from the streets, our friends, fans, and I just want to introduce ourselves. I'm Johnny and Gene show, and I'm Johnny A-Light, and you're obviously
Barello. How you doing?
Gene Barello.
These were America's Most Wanted, Anthony Tabita, Frankie Fordello. These are serious guys, killers. But when you get guys like Big Mouths.
Oh, he will be soon. Don't worry, man. I'm working on it. He's going to be on the Mount Rushmore of rats. 100%. Sakali, Barillo, Sakali, Sammy, A-Light. 100%. It's kind of hard to pick which ones to put on the fucking cover. There's so many of them. It really is. It gets difficult at times. Because it's like, damn. But I missed this one, and that one, and this one, and that one. You got this guy, the jerk off of Howard Beach, tying women up. But he didn't rob them. He sat in a fucking car and waited. Then you got this fucking gangster. Real gangster. Gambino crew member. Here's Gene at work. Here's another one of Gene at work. Here's another one of Gene at work. And this is going to be Gene in the future.
There's a kid from my neighborhood, Frankie Giudice, who's a punk with a big mouth, never did anything, and they talk like they ever did anything. He never loaded a gun. He's another guy. Only guy.
You said it best the other day, Staxx. He's playing Grand Theft Auto in his head. He believes his own bullshit, man. 100%.
Guys that talk like that, you know they're about nothing.
Rat lips.
But when, at least if they're
Hell
in the
yeah,
mix,
fella.
And you know, when his friend was getting hurt or we were collecting money off him, he ran.
He's the
He hid in
con
front
of the Gambino
106
family.
precinct. These same guys that talk, what they talk about my children ain't gangsters. You got children too. So when they talk out of school, you know they're not about anything. Because guys that run their mouth, they're nothing. The guys at Frito Guzzo, who was a legitimate killer, I didn't particularly.
Excuse me.
Ah, he missed again, man. Maybe next time Gene will catch that. Wave to the people, Gene. Hit that like button.
And like a lot of those guys in that crew did, some of them didn't like it either, what Vito was doing. But you can say to yourself, this guy is a gangster. He can't talk. There's a guy out of Brooklyn that's in the street still. I know him since we were kids.
He looks like he has airbags on his lips.
So he has the legitimate right to talk about the street. But these guys that don't know what they're talking about, because I can run those lists on and on and on of guys I shot. Baseball batted. I said I baseball batted over 100 guys and stabbed. Did I do it? Well,
over 100 guys. He baseball batted and stabbed over 100 guys. And he's not in prison for any of it. Why? Why, A-Light? You admitted to it all on tape. So why aren't you in prison for it? I'll tell you why. Because it never happened. If it didn't happen, you're not going to prison. Hey, I killed this guy on West Main Street and blah, blah, blah. If it didn't happen, you're not going to get in trouble because it never happened. Makes sense. So how'd you get away with all these A-Light with you admitting to it all on video?
People say it. There's a guy, Johnny, that testified for John Gotti Jr. I baseball batted him by myself. The 3 guys I just talked about, by myself. The Krasinowski brothers, I baseball batted 2 by myself. The Keegan brothers, I baseball batted 1 of them by myself. I could go on. That's why I said I'm going to say names this time to shut these people up that don't know what they're talking about or disrespect me, because my life's different now. The hard part for me is not to kill these guys that talk. The easy part for me was killing guys and hurting guys.
Why was it easy?
That's part of my life. It's like putting on a uniform and going to the army. It's a crazy way of thinking.
It's like going to the army, but there is no loyalty, no honor, because he told. And when it was time to be a gangster, guess what? Gangster Johnny couldn't stand up to the pressure. So he caught fleas, jumped on a rat's back, and joined Sakali and this jerk off and this jerk off and all these other jerk offs. And the king jerk off, this one. Grandpa, is that a doll? No, it's an action figure, Johnny. Action figure. A-Light was partners with Pizza. I believe it. Listen, you got Sammy Gravano vouching for a homeless bum. It doesn't get any more cringier than that. And then you got this guy. Insane. This guy. This fucking dickhead. And then you got Dick Lips over here. All of them. They're all trash bags. And they're all on the chopping block. Including Mikey Scars.
Signed up for this life. I believed in it. I don't believe in it anymore. There's 2 things that ruin this life that people don't understand. Structure, right? And fear. There is no more fear because they're asking people outside of the mob to do their killing for them, to do their shooting for them.
Wait, structure and fear is what made it work, or structure
made it
and fear
work.
It's what made it work?
Why it doesn't work now is because I can name, and I can see how I just named all the guys I shot and stabbed, and I could have kept going, right? You could see I could keep rambling these names.
Listen, people who shoot and stab people and people who are involved with violence like that, they don't keep a journal of every single name of every person. When you're in the streets, you don't know everybody's government name. You don't know everybody's all the details of everybody. You have, it's not like that. People don't just tell you their whole names. This guy remembers whole names, addresses, locations, because he fucking memorized all this shit. That's why he's able to spew it all out. And it's like he's reciting a book. Oh, wait, it's in the book, right, Johnny? All this is in your book, right? No shit. We're going to get to the story where Johnny Boy here pulled an 8-inch knife out of his ass while he was in prison. And he stabbed and killed 2 guards in Brazil. And the other guards didn't retaliate against him at all. They didn't kill him. He survived.
That same guy, the same way I did that, I can name family after family. Joe Messina, acting boss, of the Bonanno family.
Biggest rat ever. And everybody knows who these people are, so of course you're going to name them. They're the biggest fucking names in the street.
Became a rat. John Gotti Jr. became a rat.
Gotti Jr. didn't become a rat. He became a fucking cooperator. There's a difference.
Al Diaco, Lucchese family, a rat.
Yes, you're right about that. But listen, there's a big difference on being a rat, cooperator, cooperating with the government, or getting beat the fuck up and calling a ambulance. There's a huge difference, people. Huge difference.
Philadelphia mob, Ralph Natali, rat. Leonetti, rat. How are you going to have structure when all your bosses are rat? Not only the bosses, I can go down the line at captains. I can go to Mikey Scars, became a cooperator.
He's your best friend, ain't he?
I won't call him a rat. Cooperator. He was John.
I won't call him a rat. I'll call him a cooperator. Well, that's what John Jr. was. Fucking cooperator. I will say Gravano is a rat, but at the end of the day, he is a legend in the life, and it's kill or be killed, and you can't take that from him. You got that right. He is a legend, and he did a lot of fucked up shit, and it is what it is. Like what this guy's trying to do. He's trying to take Sammy Gravano's whole reputation and turn it into his own. That's what he's trying to do. He wanted to be Sammy so bad, and he can't. He tried to pay him so that Sammy would vouch for him. That type of shit is disgusting. Like, you can't make this shit up.
Gotti Jr.'s best friend. He made statements. I was there when we were setting up juries for Gotti Sr. Why is he making that statement if I'm a nobody?
Fucking liar. You never set up no juries. Never happened. He never set up now one fucking jury ever for Gotti Sr. It never happened.
If I'm not this guy, everybody says, why is he saying that Johnny Alite, he was there when we were going to hit Curtis Lee when I denied it. I said, I'm not hitting a journalist.
Fucking liar. Now he was involved with Curtis Sliwa, hitting Curtis Sliwa. Who believes this shit? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller?
We got enough guys we can hit and kill. So why am I at weddings? Why am
He said he did. He said he denied that hit because they have enough people to shoot and kill.
the Gottis, why am his sisters? So when people talk out of line and they don't have a clue what they're talking, they have no idea the violence that we were living. And what I personally did for the Gambino family. In jails, out of jails.
John, let me ask you, I'm listening to the way you say it. You're saying it a way a baseball player would say, you know, game 3 playoffs round, you know, such and such, I hit the double and it scored a winning run, you know. Game 1 opener against the Yankees, I hit a, you know, home run and we ended up winning. I won 3-4-4. The way you're saying it is just so nonchalant. Is that a part of it where in your world there is, it almost sounds, it's like, I don't want to say bragging rights, but it's like, listen, I'm a real soldier. Here's what I really did. Because you lived in that, I feel the competitive spirit that you have. I feel the spirit of love.
I feel the spirit of you're fucking lying through your teeth here, Johnny boy. Like, how come you can't just tell the truth, man? Not even a little bit. How come? You can't tell the truth? It's crazy. He wants to live someone else's life.
Look, I'm legit.
Insane.
Here's what I did. I was a driven guy. I was committed to the life, and I wanted to come through, and I'm not one of these guys that were afraid to be soldiers. I did this part as well. That's the way it comes across.
No, it's not. Comes across like he's fucking trying to show everybody how tough he is. That shit never works. He's trying to prove to the internet how tough he is. These videos go on and on and on. They don't stop. It gets more dramatic as you go on. This is one of the first interviews that A-Light did on a big scale, and that got a lot of exposure. And people called him out instantly on it because they know he's full of shit. The person that talks the loudest is usually the one that's full of shit. And that's the truth. When you're in prison, right? The person who's yapping at the mouth how tough they are, the one that's always like poking their chest out, they're the ones that get their fucking ass beat. The weeds pluck theirself. Like, look at his best buddy there, Dick Lips. This is his most recent mugshot. Oh yes, he's going to prison down in Florida for hitting his fucking girlfriend. These are the pictures. Here's the report from last year on one of the times he got arrested. This is in September 8th of 2022. And he's out on bond right now. The story never ends.
Are these things where for you during that part of the world you look at it and you say, I chose to live this life and I'm proud of the job I did? Is that kind of how you're processing it or no?
My father, let me go back to my father. My father taught me to be best at whatever.
He just asked him a question, right? And now he's like, let me go back to my father. Answer the fucking question.
I did. So when I played baseball, you'd have to beat me for me to back away from a guy coming to home plate when I was a little kid and a catcher. There's no way I'm going to step away and side tag him. When I was in the ring, whether win or lose, they put me in a ring one time with a kid that was destroying me, and my trainer wasn't there.
One time, Johnny? Oh, yeah. Because that's how many fights you had. One in the ring. And what happened? You said it yourself. You just said it. The kid destroyed you. And what happened the other time when you went to the bar and you met some Albanians in the bar? What happened that time? You admitted to that one too. I have the tape. You took a swim that day, didn't you? Why? You're such a gangster. You should have killed them all in the bar, right? That's what you're known for, killing people. How come you took a swim in the drink after they punched you in your jaw?
Just sparring. And I refused not to go in the ring. And he beat me all over the ring. And then when I got involved with the mob, I believe, here's the thing that why I'm so animate the way I talk and what I say, and is because I believed in the mob more than anybody.
No, you didn't, because if you did, you'd be in prison right now. You would have stood on being a gangster, Johnny boy. I poked out 700 eyeballs back in 72. But nobody knows. Nobody knows. I believe it, man. The 16-year-old, 100% wrong. He's claiming the kid came running at him. But who really knows what happened? Fanboy Lee has overblown the whole situation. Love him or hate him. He's a legend. Yeah, I don't know nothing about any of that other stuff you're talking about. I don't associate with other people, man. Especially on this this YouTube.
Went against my family. I went on the run because I didn't want to give up anybody in the mob. I left all my money, millions. I left my children. I stayed in a Brazilian penitentiary, and I was going to rot there. I was willing to face the death sentence. I lived in every country you could think of.
You should have. You should have took the death sentence. For all the guys you baseball batted and killed.
Meanwhile, my enemies and my friends like Gotti Jr. were already cooperating. So what I'm trying to do, and it's so important for me to say, I am the real deal. I am the guy that did this. It's not bragging. And, you know, maybe sometimes it comes off that way because I'm angry because I go around now. I don't know if
it's not bragging.
Because I go around and I teach kids don't follow. That's why I'm angry. Because I don't want kids to follow this life. I don't want.
He doesn't want kids to follow this life. But this is his protege.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is your first time here, so let's go ahead and get into your whole story.
They were in the rehabilitation places and in and out of juvie, and I actually was a little nicer kid, a little slow behind the mark of the rest of the guys. But I guess the first time I
Sounds like you're still a little slow there, Johnny.
actually jumped in and used a bat or something like that was probably about 15 years old, 16 even, I don't know, something like that.
Okay, so 15, 16 years old, you get into a fight and you pull out a baseball bat.
I don't know if it was just, no, it was never a one-on-one thing pulling out a bat, no. We're just, this is us.
Got it.
What's this us shit? You weren't involved.
Okay, so then around 17, you started getting into stabbing.
Yeah. About, I guess around 16, somebody tried to shoot me, a guy named Patty Antique, and you know, I was around the Ruggiano family, who was, Fat Andy Ruggiano was actually straightened out from, in the early 50s by...
Oh, that's the guy you were involved with the heroin business, right? And then you turned into the neighborhood's Jimmy Burke.
Albert Anastasia. So...
watch, he says that he talked to Albert. Watch.
When this guy tried to shoot me as a kid, I went to Albert and these guys, and...
You can't make this shit up. He said that he went to Albert. What's going on? The Reality Report, Craig Gatto. Go check him out. He's got a great show. He had a really good show today. Just stopping by to say what up. Hope all is well. What's going on, Certified? How you doing? Thanks for joining us, man. Wayne, what's going on? Yaz, how are you? Uncle Pete, Latin Butterfly. We got a lot of people in the house. 53 people in the house. Hit that like button. David, how are you? Bone Dentrio, what's going on?
The son of Fat Andy Ruggiano, Anthony and Albert, and they helped me out with the guy. And so
he said, I talked to Albert. Watch this.
Wood from one of the trees. I broke it over his ribs, and I broke his ribs. So this was, we were just, this is us.
Got it.
Is to understand and think that these guys are tough guys, because in my book that I'm going to do with Susan Pike, I'm going to come out with the next book. This is Darkest Hour.
He wants them all to know that he is the real tough guy. The other guys aren't the real tough guys. He's the real tough guy, not them other guys.
1, I'm coming out with Darkest Hour 2 and 3. And in Darkest Hour 2, that's coming out in February, I'm going to put a scorecard like we do in sports. When somebody gets, just what you said, how many hits or how many tackles. I'm going to go through how many of these guys never touched a gun in their life. Never did a killing, Pete got.
David, the reason why people don't call Vlad out is because it's not the interviewer's fault, man. It's not the person who's interviewing the person's fault that he's spewing a bunch of bullshit, is it? It's Patrick Bet-David's job to interview people. It's Vlad's job to interview people. He don't give a fuck if they're telling the truth or not. It's all entertainment, man. That's why when people come at me and talk about Ramundi this, Ramundi that, I'm not Ramundi's keeper. I just think he's an entertaining guy, and I like listening to his stories, so I have him on. I verified quite a bit of his stories. Not all of them, but that's the reason why. That's what I personally feel. But I hope I answered your question.
Say, never touched a gun. He didn't kill anybody. It's easy to ask this kid to do the killing from. It was easy to ask me to do the killing and the shooting, and then when it's finished and all the trouble starts, say he was nobody. Because they're going to do it to the next kid. That's why I'm so...
Who was saying you were nobody?
Whoever...
Bill Staxx. I said it. You're nobody. You're nobody, Johnny. I don't believe you. So come tell their story to me, and I want to hear details. Not all the details that you spew out. I want to hear the real details. I want to slow you down on that story, and you tell me what happened to the body. I want you to tell me what happened to the weapons that you were dealing with. Where'd you go after you killed these people? All these people you were with. What happened to them after the situation? I want you not to fly through the stories like you do, because that's rehearsed bullshit. And I'm going to call you out on it.
I'm saying it doesn't matter who's saying it. What I'm trying to teach these kids is don't follow this life. I'm here to tell you I lived this life. I was a guy that was in this life making a ton of money. This is a dead-end way to live. So it's very important to be very strong about the way I'm talking and what I've done. And it's very important to let these kids know, listen, do not follow this.
Alec was born in September of 1962. He said that he went and talked to Albert. Albert died October 25th, 1957. Too much, man. It's too funny. It's a tie between Sammy, Dom, Gene, and Hootie on the rise, yo. These guys are fucking insane. All of them. They're crazy. John wasn't even alive when Albert died. Most of these gangsters have a list of topics, questions they won't talk about to the host. Not him. He has a fucking list of shit he will talk about. He just runs down the list. He doesn't stop to give details on shit. He just runs down the list and he gives full names. That's how I know he's full of shit. You don't know all these people's full names. When you're in the street dealing with people and you're selling drugs to them or you're just associated with them, you're not going to know everybody's full name, details of, and he remembers everything. Places, dates, all this shit, because it's rehearsed. And he keeps rehearsing it, you know? It's not hard to mentally remember some shit. All lies, I believe it. What do you guys think? But anyway, I appreciate all you guys tonight. You guys have been great. If you guys want to help out with the toy drive, we're going to be buying the toys in less than 24 hours. So if you want to hit up the Cash App, it's Chatting with Staxx. And I'm going to try to make some kids have a good Christmas this year. So if you want to help me, you can hit up Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Super Stickers, Super Chats, all of that stuff. And we're going to be giving back to the community. I'm going to be volunteering on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Shout out to Brian's Angels. There's a lot of good things in the future. I have a ton of interviews that I've lined up for the new year for you guys. And I hope you guys are surprised by the people. Get Ramundi back on. I have like 30 interviews with Ramundi I haven't released yet. So don't worry. I have plenty of Ramundi content. And I will release it soon. I spoke to him yesterday. He sends his regards to all of you. And he says, Merry SnitchMas. Here, I'm dropping the links in the chat if you guys want to help out. Every dollar counts. Even $1 goes a long way. It really does. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Can he still be convicted of supposed murders that didn't happen? I don't think so. I don't know. Can you get convicted of a murder that never happened? Probably not. It's all bullshit, man. If it was real, he wouldn't be talking about it like the way he does, because he has no cooperation agreement about all these murders. Unless I'm wrong, unless I overlooked that part. But I really doubt it. He's not Sammy the Bull. He claims he killed 30 people. He's not fucking Roy DeMeo. He's not even this guy. And this guy's a fucking dipshit.
We're here again. And like I said, this is just getting started on this platform. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing at the bullshit they spew. But it's okay, because we're going to call them out on their bullshit. We don't give a fuck who they are. Because if they speak stuff like this,
Excuse me.
then we're going to call them out.
Warn you, but I'm gonna fix it. I did this to the door. Warn you, but I'm gonna fix it. I pushed the door in. 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 I did this to the door. Yes, I pushed the door in.
And his card is on file here.
Yours. But I'm gonna fix it. 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 But I'm gonna fix it.
So if I get charged for this,
You're not being charged. You're not being charged. You're not being charged. You're not being charged.
I'm the one one taking it. Word. Paying for these women?
Yeah.
Paying for these women?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are they from again?
You're crazy.
It's fucking see-through. It's like skin. It's just like there. Fucking see-through. It's like skin. It's just like
Oh my god!
Where? 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 Paying for these women?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Paying for those women, Gene? Huh? Paying for those women? Pretty crazy. But hey, I appreciate all you guys. Another SnitchMas episode tomorrow at 11. You're damn right. We're going to be dropping more bombs on these guys. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. It's going to go a long way. It really helps. Awesome. Let's help the kids have a nice Christmas. Definitely. We're going to do what we can. We're going to do the best we can with what we got. So help me, help them, help you, help us. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 11. Don't forget, if you don't like this show, start your own podcast. And remember, don't be a bitch.